there just because he's been pushed off by another rider, and there isn't much benefit at this stage of the race to having that hard contact with another rider. So for the number 10 Nico Carrero, he just did the right thing, and you'd imagine he might be more willing to push on to another rider if it's from a different team, but so early in the race it's not really got much benefit.
Piqueras hits the front end with 7 laps to go, runs it a little bit wide. Ralston will be getting that. He's seen that move done before at turn 2, and he's going to do it again. That's the 3rd time in this race. So Ralston's back.
He's in hot though.
He's in hot, but I think he's carried the speed, and he's through ahead of Piqueras. Piqueras has been strong into turn 4, but not this time around. As Carraro, he's going to muscle out Bartolini. That's getting close out on the curves, but good move there from Carraro. He knows that gap. There's a little bit of a gap just forming now as Piqueras takes a look over his shoulder. Won't want to do that because he's going to lose more ground. He's in 2nd as it is. Ralston's your race leader. Ralston, 2 podiums in Valencia 2 years ago in the European Talent Cup, so he knows what it takes to be successful here. He's doing it on the JuniorGp bike. Yeah, really good stuff from Jacob as well, and you can see though once again from Piqueras able to hold that slightly tighter line through the long left-hander at the end of the back straight, and then into this section he can just seem to put his bike into a few different places compared to the other riders out there, and that's what opens the door to get down the inside there, the race leader Jacob Ralston as well. And now is the time for Piqueras. Try and see if you're able to get your head down, open up a bit of a gap as everyone else starts to fight with one another. Jacob Ralston, big slide there, and now's the time for Piqueras just to put the hammer down. Can he do it? You've got to think if Piqueras leads in towards turn 1, he's got this not sorted, but that's where the cards start to fall into place. But Slipstream sitting now and buried in behind the bubble. Look at Jacob Ralston. He ain't letting Piqueras get away here. They cross the line, 6 to go. Esteban to the outside. I don't believe he's going to do it from there. Piqueras holds on into turn 1, but we've seen Ralston 3 times in this race make that move at turn 2. Basically from this position. Does he do it again? He has a good look, but thinks better of it this time. That's interesting now, because now Piqueras has got clean track ahead of him, and we saw the pace he had in race 1 earlier today. When that happens, what am I talking about? Because through comes Ralston to undo everything I just said. Piqueras is looking back on the inside, takes it from him. These two are swapping paint, and we're back as a group of 5. It's a 10-wheeler. Yeah, the reason I said Piqueras might have a chance to open a gap is if the other riders start to fight with each other. As it is, they're fighting with Piqueras at the front, so they're all costing each other time now. But for Piqueras, he looks the most comfortable there. But for Bartolini on the number 23 machine, he looks like the rider that's most willing to put it on the line in this race. For the likes of Jacob Ralston, he knows this is a chance to win this race, so that's why we're seeing him very combative as well, any chance he has. They're all out there trying to fight for themselves, and you might have 3 Aspar bikes, you might have 2 Estrada Galicia bikes, but this is just 5 riders out there thinking about themselves as we move into the final third of the race. And just off screen as well, down in 6th place, I say down in 6th, over in 6th place. We said keep an eye on Xavi Zuratouza, that is who occupies 6th place, so good stuff there. Jacob Ralston looking on the inside, but thinking better of it there. Can't win the race with 6 laps to go. You can only lose it, and that is what Jake Ralston will be thinking. Very smart rider now as he gets out behind the slipstream. He's going to draft on by if he can, but watch for Bartolini and watch for Esteban. 4-man slipstream. Carraro's good in 5th place at the back. Ralston has a little look. Doesn't do it this time. Will he make the move into turn 2? We'll find out in a minute. As through comes Carpe. That's on Zuratouza for 7th place, because Marcos Ruda has now got ahead into 6th place on this group as they come through down towards turn 2. Lanetta struggling back there at turn 2. He's down in around 10th place, just behind Eddie O'Shea, who's up into 9th.
Well, you see, Kiko, that you can only lose a race at this stage. Don't forget, we're past 2/3 race distance.
Very good.
So if there was a red flag, it would be full points awarded for a race result. So at this stage, all the riders do know that they have to get to the front of their groups, and that's why Marcos Ruda there on the 69 has hit the front of that secondary group. But you can see here in the battle for the lead, Jacob Ralston.
This is incredible. Those two swapping paint. They're not going to know which fairing's which. They've got so much of each other's bodywork on each other. Ralston back ahead of Piqueras then as we cut back to the lead group. 7th is Esteban. Number 7 in 3rd place is Esteban. Then 4th place Bartolini. And Nico Carraro, the smartest one of them all. He's keeping his powder dry, staying out of trouble in 5th. The gap, by the way, back to Marcos Ruda in 6th place is 3.6 seconds. It hasn't changed. This is going to be the battle for the win. unless, of course, we have late drama, which is never out of the question. As Esteban looks on the inside of Carras, but can't get it done. Going to be 4 laps to go across the line, Steve. This is where they start trying to get into position. This is when they start thinking about that last sprint towards...
Ooh! An issue for Joel Esteban.
Esteban,
we saw that Bartolini nearly ran into the back of him, and may well have made contact with the bars there, but Joel Esteban had a problem on the exit of the corner, and he's out of this one.
Esteban, dearie me, made us sit up in the commentary box. That was scary. Thankfully, he's all right. It's a technical problem for Esteban. You don't see that very often in this team, or at all, really, with the gas machine. So we are now 2 versus 2. It is the Aspar Junior team versus the Estrella Galicia team. The bike is still running.
Yeah, but like you can see here with the number 7 machine, he raises his left hand to alert everyone that he's got an issue. But at that stage, Bartolini was already right there, right on the rear wheel, so he did well to avoid the number 7 machine. As it is, it's a big shame for Joel Esteban, but we've got another round in a couple of weeks' time in Jerez, and that's whenever he'll have the chance to try and claim his first race victory of the season.
Nico Terol and David Alonso there looking on in the garage. That will be a disaster for them, and they've still got 2 riders in their team that are well in with a shout of taking victory in this race. So 5 become 4. Ralston doing a fine job.
Yeah, I just like Bartolini in this battle though, because he's so willing to make moves. We've got 3 laps to go when they come across the line. Jacob Ralston's done a very good job of consistently being able to hit the front, but it does look like Piqueras is able to hold the tighter lines where he has to and give himself opportunities. 3 laps to go, that's what it comes down to. Who's got that little bit underneath them that they haven't shown just yet?
You can see there Bartolini trying to go the long way around Carraro, not able to do so. Piqueras has gone the long way round long way around Jacob Ralston and has made it stick. That's incredible stuff there from Piqueras. That Honda's not slow in a straight line.
It certainly isn't, and Piqueras has been able to defend that position into turn 1 as well. He hasn't been able to defend it into turn 2 too often through the course of this race, but it is that top speed making a big difference for the number 18. Down that start-finish straight, just seems that he's able to have that little bit of an edge.
Through comes Carraro, that's up into 2nd place. He knows the pace that Piqueras has got. He won't want to see Piqueras get away. This is not smart riding. You two have got to pack that in. Jacob Ralston cost his teammate Carraro there a bit of time, and it was shaken ahead by the Italian as well. So Ralston still believes, rightly so, that he's got potential in this race to win. Whether or not he's pushing and shoving around his teammate too much, because that group is starting to splinter a little bit now, as Piqueras has a 1/4 of a second lead over Ralston. 2.5 laps to go now. It's not over.
It's still very much a leading group of 4 here, and you can see that Angel Piqueras has been able to get to the front, but he hasn't been able to really take advantage of the big fight. You can see here the move for 2nd position, and down the inside came Jacob Ralston, and you can understand Carrera being a little bit frustrated about that, because earlier in the race he made sure not to run out wide towards his teammate, and he hasn't had that favourable return. But you're down into the last 2.5 laps of a race. This is when it comes down to winning the race, and that's what Jacob Ralston is thinking about.
Asking for the power there was Piqueras. He just got it lit up as they come across the line. Penultimate lap time as they come through now. Carraro, the number 10 on your far left of picture, is going to look to go the long way round on his teammate. He can't do that. Bartolini looking on the inside as well. The
top speed, though, for Piqueras in the 18 is impressive. With those gas bikes using the slipstream, they're still not able to come through on him down in towards turn 1.
The cat at turn 2, though, we've seen it so many times. I make that the 4th time now for Ralston. He's back as your race leader.
But this is a key place for Piqueras as well, because you can see with the other gas coming down the inside. For Piqueras, though, if he's 2nd going into that last lap, he should be able to use the slipstream to attack into turn 1. If you attack into turn 1 and come through, you take the line away from the other rider, the momentum away for the run towards turn 2. So I think for Piqueras, he needs to make sure he's able to hold on to this position in 2nd, leading into that last lap. That could be the difference.
I can't believe we're talking strategy in a Junior GP race. It's incredible. But now we have got a lap and a half to go. They are at turn 8. They will get it up now through here. This is the left-right flick of turn 9 and 10. Then it's an overtaken good spot if you want to launch out the inside at turn 11. Not this time around though, but it's so close.
Bartolini into the last corner. Will he try that wide line again? You can see that number 10 of Carrero with big look over his shoulder, wants to see who's there with him. He knows it's only this group of four. Bartolini, we've seen very wide through the last corner at times during this race. Will he use that to try and set something up into the last corner for the last lap?
Incredible, really. Piqueras defending very well from Carraro, but he's got to be careful not to cost himself the exit. He hasn't really. He's looking good. We are going on to the last lap now, and Jacob Ralston is just 4 kilometres between himself and the first victory of his career in the Junior GP class. Angel Piqueras is thinking otherwise. His teammate thinks otherwise. Carraro do. Ralston lets the brakes off. Piqueras is forced out by both of them, and he's going to have friendly fire from his teammate as well. And Bartolini, the number 23. But Carraro is leading this at the moment. It's an Aspar Junior team 1-2, and Piqueras is now third, Steve. He wouldn't have done this in.
And you're going to see down in towards turn 4, Ralston not close enough, but now for Piqueras, he's running out of time now to try and make moves. He's strong into the end of the back straight, though that left-hander at the end of the back straight, he can hold the tight line. He's going to need to come through and Ralston into there to then give himself a chance into the last corner on the last lap.
Turn 6, nothing changes there. This is the right. Whoa! Was Carraro out on the green now? I thought he got a little bit close to it, that's for sure. Jacob Ralston won't want to put it in the race direction anyway. He's going to want to come through. Now, this is interesting. We've got a sector and a half to go. We've got teammates versus teammates everywhere. Piqueras is trying to go up, over, or round Ralston. He'll go under him. Oh, 2-in-1. Are you sure? There was contact. Piqueras ruthless in the final sector. Oh, dear me. We've got 2 riders down.
Yeah,
Bartolini and Carraro have gone down as we come to... Yes, they have, and Ralston is going to be second here. Ralston's held on. I tell you what, in third place, Alvaro Carpe is going to be surely on the run to the line, but it's going to be... He waited so long for that first victory. Angel Piqueras is doubling up in Valencia. He's done a double at home. Piqueras from Jacob Ralston, and the slipstream button to the line. Alvaro Carpe holds on and will hopefully this time take it all the way to the podium. Carpe third, Steve. What a nice lap.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what the replay is for Piqueras then into the double apex right-hander, because he certainly looked like he might have given a bit of a helping hand to the riders around him. But Piqueras, he knew he had to come through. He was able to do that in the last lap. He's able to take this win, doubles up on the day. But I think that from the first viewing of that, certainly comes from so far back that the other riders involved in it, especially Carrero, might well feel that he's been hard done by. Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's up the inside. I think it's Bartolini.
It's a separate incident there, really. So it's definitely the 23 there just sees an opportunity to come through and tries to follow his teammate.
Well, that was a belting final lap. Where do we go with that? Steve's off down to catch a word with the race winner, Angel Piqueras, for a second time today. What a fantastic race that was. What a final lap. Piqueras, a winner. The floodgates, maybe they have opened after all. We don't know. It's too early to say. It's 2 wins in one day. Piqueras, Ralston and Alvaro Carpe. I cannot wait to see how this is going to plan out, because he is going to be elated with this. Hopefully everything is all good this time. Of course, he's had this feeling before, back at Estoril when he took third then and then had it taken off him. Oh, I'm just looking at the results. Massive shout out behind Carpe. Lunetta Duratuza are fourth and fifth. Eddie O'Shea, the British rider, Eddie O'Shea takes sixth place. Fantastic ride from Eddie O'Shea, up from 12th place on the grid. Adrian Cruces is at podiums before. He's up in 7th. A good ride. Marcos Ruda just falling a little bit at the end there, down to 8th. Still, nonetheless, not a bad effort. Kundo Yambias in 9th. Noah Detmeiler completes the top 10. It's a personal best result for in 11th place. Shinya Azawa. Carraro, I can tell you, remounted, and well, it could have been a podium, it possibly could have been a win. Instead, it's 12th. Leo Ramastorfer is in 13th place. Kotaro Uchiumi is 14th, ahead of Torin Collins. That's the fairing of Nico Carraro. Surprised he carried on with that, I must admit. It was a bit on school, wasn't it, back in the 70s when we had the big fairings on the front of racing motorcycles. But he was calm earlier in his interview. I bet he's going to be jumping up and down with joy this time. Angel Piqueras has picked them off again at home. Great scenes down there, all captured, of course, for the team's memory. The Piqueras fan clubs are well happy. Second place, as I say, Jacob Ralston. That will be Jacob Ralston's first podium in the class as well. So top stuff there. The Australian, very, very solid effort. And I really think we can get ready to expect more to come from Ralston. He looks like he really has got now a good grip on this JuniorGp Moto3 machine. And third, Alvaro Carpe. Has he arrived yet, or is he arriving now? Because this could be a bit like, there he is. Alvaro Carpe, well, this time it is for him. The third place, that is a fantastic result for him. And, you know, he's got that potential. He had a kind of a steady year last year, flashes of brilliance as he adapted to JuniorGp machinery up from ETC, of course, but this time there were no questions. He's looked so good. What a ride, though, further back from Medio Shea. He's not in the picture. He is down in 6th place, but up from where he qualified. Fine effort. A top 6 for the British talent team. Just waiting for the interview. Steve is already down there, ready and waiting. This is that last lap move again. Piqueras, there's no doubt, it shoves a door open, and then Bartolini goes as Carraro's trying to close it, and that is the only way you can sum that up. I don't think there'll be a penalty or anything for that. I mean, it's a racing incident, it's the last lap. You know, you never know. Alvaro Carpe signalling to the number one of Angel Piqueras. Piqueras has looked pretty stunning indeed. There's the fan club. They have come not that far really. They're from Valencia, so they've only had to come up the road. See their man do a double. Piqueras, he has been so good for so long, and now he's got those wins to his name. Steve is down there with Piqueras. A double win at home. It doesn't get much better.
Piqueras, what a day. But talk us through the last lap here in the second race of the day.
Yeah, it was a crazy lap because I overtake 2 riders in one corner, and I'm really happy because I did P1 and P1. And now I have to be focused for Mugello with the Republic Cup, and I'm very happy because I don't know, this feeling is amazing, and now I feel really, really confident with myself, and let's see Mugello. Bueno, estoy muy contento, la carrera ha sido, bueno, la última vuelta ha sido un poco de infarto porque he adelantado a 2 pilotos en una curva, pero bueno, estoy muy contento, el equipo ha hecho un trabajo muy bueno y ahora con la mirada puesta ya en Mugello, que tengo la siguiente prueba con la República. Great job today.
Well, where to start with this then? We had a false start earlier on, but eventually we got underway, and it was Angel Piqueras who grabbed the whole shot ahead of Luca Lanetta. David Almanza was up there early doors, leading the way. Joel Esteban was in the mix too. Then the 23, Elia Bartolini from 10th on the grid. He moved up into the podium position. There was a moment that Esteban, as he was pushed and shoved around, Jacob Ralston and his teammate Nico Carraro were coming into it, but Bartolini certainly wasn't taking any prisoners. Ralston hit the front, then we had this crash out, 6th place for Harvey Alitama on for his career best finish. Ralston got it all long down in towards turn 8, somehow anchored it all up, latched back onto the back of the 5-man leading group, and was already back in the mix into 4th place. Whilst teammate Joel Esteban hit the front. Ralston was ruthless in his way through to the finish.
Uy,
Making
yang
great
mimpin aku
passes.
dukung yang
Back from fifth,
mimpin.
came up to the lead.
Enak deh
And from then on, looked really, really good.
Nice.
But Piqueras picked up his teammate, Joel Esteban, and then somehow Bartolini avoided Esteban, who had a mechanical failure on the front straight as he was buried in the slipstream. So lucky there wasn't anything worse there. And then there was some more friendly fire between the Aspar Junior team riders of Ralston and Carraro. On to the last lap, Carraro came through, Ralston let the brakes up in towards turn 1, but it was Piqueras at turn 11 who got them both at the inside, and as he pushed Carraro wide, Carraro was skittled by an ambitious Elia Bartolini. That more or less sorted the race results out.